From the TBS comedy series Miracle Workers, Oregon Trail, I'd like to welcome Jon Bass and Karan Soni to Sidewalks Entertainment. Hi, thank you so much for joining us.
Wow, nailed it.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Right? I'm actually a little bit surprised myself. Yeah, Karan, I read that before you went into acting, you were actually a business major. Now, what inspired you to change gears and go into acting? And what was your very first paid acting role that started your career on screen?
Wow, these are great questions. I had a job guaranteed to me. My dad had his own business at the time, and he was like, when you graduate, like, you'll just work here for the rest of your life. You have really no choice. And he always really wanted to go to college in America. I grew up in India, and so he was like, go live your life. And then by my sophomore year, that business was sold and did not exist. And so I did not have a job. And so then I just pivoted to an even crazier career while in college. And my first job was a music video for Beck, in which I play a messenger who gets hit by a car in slow motion. And I got paid $50. And then my first SAG job was an MTV TV movie called Worst Prom Ever. And I'm sure that's one that you all know about.
Wow, that is awesome. Now, Jon, how did you start your career in acting? And of all the projects that you've worked on, which has been the most memorable for you so far?
I got my start from acting when I saw my sister perform when I was 7 years old, and I said, "Hey, that looks like a lot of fun." And then I just said, I want to do that, and so I did that, and so I did that forever, and it worked out okay. My favorite role has definitely been working on Miracle Workers. Not any particular role, just the cast. I really love them. I love Karan so much. I love Dan so much. I love Steve so much. I love Geraldine so much. I love Lolly and Quinta and all the guest stars that we have. It is truly a dream come true.
Jon, I have a question for you, if that's okay. What was it like working with Priyanka Chopra on Baywatch? Because I grew up watching her. I'm a huge fan.
It felt like working with royalty.
That makes sense.
It felt like working with royalty. Like, she would come to set and she would just be like, "Hello, darling." And my whole body would go into literally just I need to impress this woman. And so that's
she spoke to me.
Yeah, exactly. Was, oh my God, I can't believe the Queen spoke to me. And then that was our relationship. Is I was one of her servants. And,
wow, you're so lucky. Yeah, you were the jester.
I was the jester. That is always. Let's be honest. That's always.
Okay, and now the TBS Old West comedy series Miracle Workers, Oregon Trail, created by Simon Rich, executive produced by Lorne Michaels. Karan, you play Sanjay. Jon, you play Sam. The Miracle Worker series takes place in different time periods every season. What was it like filming in the Old West in Oregon Trail?
Well, just a quick correction there. Season 1, we were Sam and Sanjay. In season 3, I'm Todd and Karan is Gunslinger.
I know, it's confusing.
So, it's confusing.
My gosh, that's right. Your characters' names are different in the 3rd season. That's a really big my bad. My bad, guys.
No,
totally fine. It's a confusing show, which is not fun to explain to friends and family. but it does show what an exciting show this is in terms of what we get to do as actors, which is one season I'm Sam, the hapless romantic, and this season I'm Todd, the rich douchebag. It really changes, and you really get to play the whole spectrum of characters.
So, what was it like filming in the Old West for Oregon Trail?
We filmed during COVID, so that was different from the other two seasons. But we were mostly outdoors, so that felt like nice during COVID to be like on this beautiful like movie ranch where they've filmed a lot of like westerns and like modern ones and old ones. And there were just animals, a lot of animals, and every day just looked really cool. Like I haven't watched a lot of westerns, and once we filmed this, I was like, gosh, these are really hard to make. There's like a lot of like animals have to hit their mark. It's like you're always outdoors. It's hot. You're wearing like these crazy costumes. Like it's quite like every scene, no scene felt easy. I was like, everything is a whole production to do. We had like so many stunts and yeah, it was wild. It was very exciting.
Was wearing his character is always in black with a black trench coat, and he looks really cool and sexy. But it was so hot, and there were these massive lights that they would shine on us that were the actual lights that they used for westerns that use fire to light. So there's just fire being shined on.
We would describe it as like there would be the sun, and then there'd be the second sun that was in front of our faces. And like it was just like we already have the big one up there, but here's another one right in front of my face. It was like hot, and your eyes were squinting. And I guess they were saying this is why the Clint Eastwood got his famous like squinty look, is because when they did these westerns, like the light would be right in front of your face, and so you can't even really open your eyes, which is a whole thing.
Okay, now one last question before we wrap, and this is like completely like it's a little off subject and kind of random. But as you mentioned earlier, Daniel Radcliffe plays one of the main characters. Now, does Harry Potter ever come up during filming, or has it ever come up during the show?
Oh yeah.
You're talking to two huge Harry Potter fans, so we can't help ourselves.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I bring it up constantly. It has reduced over the years, but season 1, I mean, it was relentless.
You remember the first time we hung out, Karan, when when we were doing rock climbing, and I made a Harry Potter joke, and we were all waiting to see how he'd react.
That's right.
And terrifying, and then he laughed at it, and everyone sort of like. I remember Karan turned to me after that, like we were driving back, and you were like, "It's a good thing that didn't fail."
That's right. That means we can keep bringing it up.
Oh my god, that is so awesome, you guys. I wish you could tell me the joke, but sadly we are out of time. But I had such a great time speaking with you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
Thank you.
Everyone, you can watch more of Jon Bass and Karan Soni in the TBS comedy series Miracle Workers, Oregon Trail.
For more full-length celebrity interviews, visit sidewalkstv.com.